presenting a new exciting radio program featuring the thrilling adventures of an amazing and incredible personality. Faster than an airplane, more powerful than a locomotive, impervious to bullets.
Up in the sky, look, it's a bird, it's a plane.
It's a podcast.
Race a high-powered bullet to the target. With tremendous weight, he bends solid steel in his bare hands, as though it were...
Hello everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of It's a Podcast. And before I even get this episode started, I want to throw out a huge apology to everybody. I promised you guys a New York Comic Con special edition special episode. We did do it, I did record it, and we did upload it. However, after, a couple of days, apparently, the audio on YouTube decided to disappear. And I had already gotten rid of the video off of my computer because the video was up and working well for the past couple of days. So I said I don't need it anymore. And then I should have slapped myself because I always usually keep my videos for about a week to make sure everything goes well, and I didn't. But anyway, the video was up. I just actually deleted it because there's no point. There's no audio. There's no visual. There's nothing. So I don't know what happened on YouTube, but the video never made it. The video didn't stay. So instead, I have Cindy and Mike with me. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
And we're going to talk about New York Comic Con special again, and that's going to be the news segment of the show. And then I will be going over solicits for both DC and Marvel. I'm not sure who's going to be with me for the rundown, and unfortunately, there will be no Zone 4 segment this week. So let's start with the New York Comic Con Special Edition, which is why you guys are with me. I'll give you a brief rundown of what we did, and then we could all talk about our experiences. Yes?
Yep.
Just like last time? Okay. So what happened was, when we first walked into the Javits Center, I think all of us were kind of shocked because we had gone to October New York Comic Con last year, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, I was expecting it to be in the main hall, the big hall, and then everything else was going to be shut. To all of our surprise, actually, the entire Javits Center was closed except for Artist Alley, or what was called Artist Alley in October. And New York Comic Con Special Edition actually took place in what October New York Comic Con considers Artist Alley, ooh, easy there, to be. And I don't know, it was a bit smaller than I was thinking. I mean, the way they were advertising it on the internet and everything, I thought it was bigger. I thought it was going to be like at least the main hall. I thought that Artist Alley would be closed, the downstairs would be closed. Everybody thought it was going to be in a different place. One person thought it was going to be downstairs only, like when we went and met, where Cindy met the guy that wrote Arthur, and where the
Omar
Ghostbusters car was.
Yeah.
Yeah. A few people thought it was just going to be in the all the way to the left of the Javits Center. A few people thought it was going to be in the main hall. I was one of the ones in the main hall. And then other people said, one person did mention Artist Alley, and I was like, I don't think I thought it would be too small. But actually, the convention was actually cut directly in half. The front half of the show were all stores. There was an Archie booth, there was a Valiant booth, and then there was a Marvel booth. That was it. And then in the back half were all the artists, creators, and people who actually went out and bought tables, basically the exhibitors. And the whole first I would say hour of the show, we actually walked around the exhibitors' tables just to scope out who was there, how we were going to execute our interviews, and just figure out what our course of action was going to be for who we're going to interview first, second, and third. And then we basically split up. We did our interviews, which took about an hour and a half to about 2 hours. And then we decided to go through the front, which was where the stores were. And we actually, I think all of us about wasted $100 each. I think, Cindy, you wasted about $150.
I wasted, about $150.
So, we wasted a lot of money with stuff. I know we got I actually did buy a lot of prints from the artists that we interviewed. A lot of the prints I got from a lot of the people we talked to. Or some people couldn't do interviews because they were very busy. Some people did tell us to reach out to their companies and they would do an interview via Skype or via Google Plus. So the good news is we still will have the interviews, just not from New York Comic Con Special Edition, but we did get them technically from there.
Yep.
But I got a lot of prints. I know you got a couple of. You got the Mario figure. You could talk about that. We got the Wolverine exclusive for the convention. After that, we checked out the Marvel booth, where I thought it was hilarious. People were making fun of DC for not even showing up, and I thought that was kind of bad on DC's part. You know, you'd think DC Comics would show up, but I'm getting into my opinion. But Mike got actually an interview with Ryan Jampole.
And Peter David.
No, I'm talking about in the front of the convention.
Oh, in the front. Oh.
From the Archie booth, which was awesome. And really, that was our day. So, I don't know. I'm going to talk about my experience, and then you guys can bounce off me or whatever. The interviews were amazing. I really had a great time doing it. But nobody different was going to be there the following day. So I feel like after doing all of our interviews after the first hour or 2 hours, I felt like I was done doing that. And then as far as shopping, after wasting about $100, I think I was about done shopping as well. So as far as the convention being 2 days, I think that the convention was fine being a one-day convention. And now for New York Comic Con in October, they've announced that they're going to be having a concert week, where the whole week... Yeah, I know, that's crazy, isn't it? But they were mentioning having a concert week the week before the October New York Comic Con, and there's no way we'll be able to attend all that, that's for sure. But anyway, the convention was really small. I feel like, you know, if you went on Saturday, the only reason you'd go back on Sunday was if you were a panel person, like chasing the panels, or if you actually had more money to spend in the stores, or if you missed out on doing an interview you really wanted to do. Really, not too many news people were there. I mean, Newsarama was there somewhere, and so was CBR, but other than that, really, nobody else news-wise. A lot of it was for the fans, which I like, because at least, you know, when it came to October New York Comic Con, I only walked away with one print, which was from Tony S. Daniel. In this convention, we walked away with 6 prints, 2 from the same person, because me and Mike love the turtle, so we actually got 2 prints from Eric Talbot. I would have gotten 2 from Ed McGuinness if I had the extra money to do so. I wanted to get the Spider-Man Red Hulk print he had. Maybe I'll get it if he comes back in October. But anyway, looking over my experience, though, I'll conclude it with a little bit more in mind. Cindy, what did you think? How did you feel about the convention? You got a lot of interviews, actually.
I got a lot of interviews. Some I wasn't expecting to actually have. So that turned out really good. I got some new insight into new books, too. It was pretty good after spending $150-ish on just shopping. So,
if you want to see our haul video, by the way, you can go on Comic Frontline.
Yeah. So I got some really good stuff there. Actually got a few books I wasn't expecting to find that were really amazing. So I thought it was overall just great. I got so many interviews and so much stuff that I was just amazed. I wasn't expecting this con to be so, even though it was so small, it was very what's the word?
Full. It felt very full. We got a lot done. It was very satisfying.
There you go. So, yeah.
And that's really it? That's all you have? Would you say it was really a one day convention?
Oh, definitely. After everything we had done, I felt satisfied. Like, we didn't have to come back the next day. I mean, everything was still going to be the same. Nothing different unless you were panelists, which we weren't. So, it was like a one-day convention. I mean, they made it 2 days, but understandable.
Obviously, probably the second day was for people who couldn't make it on Saturday, or for people who really wanted to dedicate a whole weekend to, you know, chilling around. But it was so small, I wouldn't see why a second day would be necessary unless you have more money to burn.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. And I got some really great sketches, though.
Yes, you were the small. I actually was making fun of you for bringing that blank book. I said nobody's gonna want to do a free sketch, and I was. You know, that last sketch you got from Cindy got a sketch from Francis Manipul. That was awesome. That made the entire sketchbook worth getting. Not saying the other artists that drew in it, it wasn't worth it. From the first artist, it was worth having that book. We got one from David Peterson. We got 2 from Franco. We got 1 from Rebecca Isaacs, who drew Angel for me. You got David Marquez, who drew Spidey for you. You got Ryan Jampol, who did Mega Man for you. And then you got Francis Manipul, who did The Flash for me, which was awesome. So the book was definitely a smart idea, and you better be bringing it in October.
Oh, don't worry. I am already preparing the pages for that, so...
There you go. I'll talk about October New York Comic Con at the end of the show when I wrap everything up with a little bit of news. But, yeah, so I guess now it's Mike's turn. So, Mike, what did you think about the convention?
Yes, the special edition New York City Comic Convention, I found it to be, well, when I first went in, like you said, like, the Javits Center was so empty with no pictures and stuff like that. And
like when, that
it was like a ghost town.
Thing, yeah.
I mean, if you guys saw my reaction, my jaw literally dropped, like, oh my God, like, where's the whole convention?
When we had to get the tickets, when we had to get our tickets, it was a little booth right in front of the art
press.
Yeah, I know, but when we got our press passes, it was this tiny little booth in front of Artist Alley. That was it.
Yeah, and it was really something else where we had to pick up our tickets, press badges, rather than them mailing it to us, and that was really that. But beside the point, as we're walking around, and we went to the Javits North place, where Artist Alley was, that was the whole convention. So after I'm like saying, okay, let me just walk around and just see, everything else, because that one place isn't going to stop me from actually walking around. Right. So we were walking around, and like I said before, I did get an interview with both Peter David of All New X Factor and Ryan Jampol from the artist of Mega Man, and we had a sketch of that as well. And as I was walking around also, I got the SH Figure Arts of Super Mario, as well as the Pop Vinyl Bobblehead of Wolverine on Max exclusive. And, there were a bunch of other things that we got to, and our wallets, like my wallet was completely empty by the end of the day.
So was mine. I walked away with, I think, $10 only because I didn't want to run back into the convention.
Right, and then our friends who were with us, like Kevin, he got himself the Omega Man comic book issue, and Ellie...
Omega Man?
Omega Man. Or Omega Men. I think it was like the first appearance of Lobo, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he got a comic book.
Yeah, it was in my Duderock 18 video when we were walking around doing the tour.
I haven't seen
as well as Ellie, who got herself a Keyblade from the Kingdom Hearts series. Oh yeah, and by the way, also I got the comic exclusive of the convention exclusive of Mega Man X issue number 1, which was a really great cover and was also signed by...
Really nice. It's basically I looked at the original cover, by the way. It's basically the cover, the drawn cover in the game form, like 3D, like the games, which is awesome.
Yeah, and both Ryan Jampol and Jamal Peppers, thank you. I did remember.
I saw you going like this. So
they both signed, and I thought that was great. But to be honest, it didn't feel like the Comic-Con that we go to in October. I mean, not because it was in a different location or anything. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel the Octoberness that like I
agree.
Like, like just the feeling of that. I mean, what?
The best thing I would say that it felt like okay, we're going to have the convention in October, but you know how hard it is to stay in Artist Alley too long because we always have to go back to the main hall? This felt like hey, we know you're not going to be in Artist Alley too long, so here you go. Be in Artist Alley for these 2 days, and it's an extra 2 days for you to be in Artist Alley, so when October comes, we won't have to spend too much time in Artist Alley because we've already talked to everybody, and how much can actually happen, honestly, in 3 months? Nothing. So you're not going to spend too much time in Artist Alley, except with the people you didn't interview at Special Edition.
Yeah. And there were other people I couldn't interview, but I won't mention any names.
Me too. One person disappeared.
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember that? We kept going to the booth, and it's like, oh, he stepped away still.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Also, there was a Marvel freebie that we also got with the Watcher's Eye. We got so many of the Watcher's Eye.
We got 2 each, I think, because, come on, you have to have 2 eyes.
Well, yeah, but technically one kind of
Disappeared.
bounced away.
It bounced away.
But beside the point of that, we also met some people along the way. Like, we saw a cat who was there with her friend Luke. And also Pete from Pete's Basement.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was great
that
seeing
was
him again.
Actually another awesome person we actually got to visit and
Meet.
Or to meet, yeah, visit. Very good. No, I'm just imagining it because sometimes when I remember things, I kind of have loss of words. But yeah, basically the whole thing, like you said, felt like just doing a one-day thing because I felt accomplished on what I did, and both you and Cindy felt accomplished what you did as well.
Yeah, I think we all agreed on the train that we're done. We got everything we wanted. I mean, Ellie got that humongous Keyblade. I think she finished her money in one buy.
Yeah, and it was so big that she actually let us keep it here for a while until
we're
she
keeping
finds
it.
a way.
Well, no, she actually told us during the Tuesday live show that we're basically we're borrowing it. Basically until she needs it. So, in other words, we're keeping it until Ellie needs it for a cosplay, and then she's gonna take it.
Right, and but I mean, I'm not gonna give the rating like right now because I know we're gonna do that by the end of the show. But to be honest,
I'm really not gonna rate it. I'm just gonna say my thoughts on it, and that's it.
Well, yeah,
So.
I'm gonna give my thoughts as well after that. But all in all,
Well, no, go ahead. Finish your thoughts completely.
It didn't really feel like October, like I said before. I mean, would I want to go again next year? I would consider
one day
of going next year for press and all that. And
you never know. If it gets really popular, it could build up. It could get bigger.
It could. And also, I would like to thank Repop, actually, for making this event happen.
Yes.
So, thank you, Repop, for making Special Edition happen at the Javits Center.
But we're not going to the concert week before New York Comic Con in October.
No. That I was going to say flat out we're not going to go to. But overall, after I left, I would give it a mix between a 3.5 to 4 out of 5.
I thought it was a solid 4.
I mean, it was a 3.5 at first, but then I thought, you know what, with all the things I got interviewed, why not between 3.5 to 4
Yeah,
out of 5?
we did leave very, like Cindy said, satisfied. With me, things that I feel I left out, I did get to interview Dirk Manning, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting that surprise Dave Marquez interview really made my day at the Marvel booth. Along with the sketch he did of Peter Parker Spider-Man for me and Cindy. But all in all, I think it was a 4-star convention because it was fun. I mean, yeah, they had the stage, the stage they had right at the beginning. If you guys would like to see pictures, all the pictures that me and Mike took, which there weren't that many, but there were a good amount. There's, I believe, 3 galleries. You can go to comicrelated.com, and all of our photos are up there. I have a picture with Dave Marquez. I think you took a picture with somebody.
Peter David.
So there are a lot of pictures that we took at the convention before we walked in. But another thing I noticed? There weren't really that many people. The lines were the only long line, and that's one that went around about 4 poles, was to meet Gail Simone.
Yeah.
That was the only humongous line. Everything else was pretty short. And Francis Manipul.
Yeah,
I stood on that line. It was only 1 row. That's why I stood on that line. And I got a nice print signed, and I got that, and Cindy got that awesome drawing, that awesome sketch. Right. So it was worth the line, but Gail Simone, it was just not worth standing in line for so long. Next time I have to be smart and bring comic books to sign, because there was this one guy in front of me in line. He pulled out a stack that was about 20 comics high. Remember that guy at the Mega Man booth? He opened up a suitcase and he put like Mega Man 1 through 20.
I
was like, are you kidding?
Carry all that? That must have been like 100, 200 pounds. Even I couldn't probably lift that much.
Just for the record, he had more than just Mega Man in the suitcase. He had about a good 300-400 comics in there.
Okay,
but
yeah.
No, I don't understand, and I don't know why people need more than 1 issue signed. What are you gonna do? They're gonna sell it on eBay.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I was looking at you like saying, Chris, it's gonna go on eBay.
Right.
But I wouldn't put mine on eBay because Peter David and Ryan Jampol and Jamal Peppers, absolutely not.
And my prints stay with me also. Anything we bought at the convention, I'm keeping for myself. After I pass on, if my son or children, because right now I only have a son, but if I have more children, if they choose to sell it, to make extra money, that's on them.
Same with
if
me.
you have a child that likes comic books, maybe I'll leave it to your child. Whichever one I feel that will respect my stuff the most, that's where it's going to go. But as long as I'm alive, I'm not selling any of my stuff that I get. Anything I buy because I want it, not because I want to sell it. And I feel that's kind of a... I don't know. It's a disservice to the people who are willing to sign because, they're signing it for the fans. They're not signing it so you can make an extra buck on eBay. So that's just my opinion. But I thought it was a great convention. There weren't that many people, which kind of made it a little nicer because you could walk around a little more. There was cell phone frequency.
Oh, yeah, cell phone frequency. Yeah, it was like so easy to call somebody because in October, forget about it.
Right. So it was nice. It was a nice open convention. There, even in the front, when we went for our press badges, we went right to the person. There was no lines, and people who were buying tickets day of, there was no long lines either.
And when we got press badges, they look nice, but when Ellie got the tickets, I was like, whoa, they really made these two awesome
and
days.
Guess what? When we get the press badges for October, it's going to be one flat badge, and then everybody else is going to get those pretty ones for the whole for it. Ellie will give us hers again, that's all.
Right.
So... all in all, though, it was a really great time. It was a nice Saturday out. It wasn't worth going back on Sunday unless you had extra money to burn or
and plus, it was
panels.
also Father's Day as well.
Yeah, it was Father's Day, so I want to spend time with my son. It was my first Father's Day. Maybe next year we have extra money. Maybe we'll spend half one day, half another day. You never know. Maybe we'll start doing panels.
One thing, though, as of now, I am definitely saving my money for October because I'm going to need so much money.
Oh, yeah, because if we only spent $100 at this convention, the next convention, which we will be going to both days, we're going to be spending a ton of money.
Yep, and hopefully getting more interviews as well. One of them being also,
Absolutely. The reason why I think the New York Comic Con's worth visiting more than one day is because it's a huge convention. So that's kind of why, you need about 2 days to get everything done.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go Thursday and Friday. I mean, maybe Cindy and Ellie will go on Friday, but I know Thursday for a fact we're not going to be there to set up. That's
and hopefully if work schedule for me permits, let's just hope so.
Yeah, we'll see. So maybe they'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm just going to be there Saturday and Sunday. I think the weekend's more than enough for me to get everything out of the way. And Sunday's really the best day because that's when all the people are closing up and that's when all the sales are.
Right.
So, anyway, thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
So, all in all, New York Comic Con Special Edition was a fun time. I look forward to it. If it happens again next year, we will definitely go for at least one day. And, so all in all, it was a fun convention. Again, I'm sorry that this didn't make it to the special. This is about as long as the special was. So I guess that's really, I think the special was only about 5 minutes more, and that was basically us just talking about stuff and reminiscing and what we were, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, other than that, thank you guys both for sitting in for this.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And now I guess I'm going to be switching over to talking about the solicits from DC and Marvel. All right, so now we are in the solicits for Marvel and DC Comics. I'm going to be talking about books that are coming out from both companies in September of 2014. But before I get into the solicits, there's one thing I noticed from both companies, and it's something I want you all to really think about and really consider, especially those of you out there that like to buy more than just one series or one character's worth of books, like myself. I like to buy as many books as humanly possible. I love reading comics. There are a huge amount of characters I love reading each and every month, including all the events that are going on in both companies. But one thing I noticed, one thing that's becoming a trend, and I see it in both companies, and I'm starting to worry, is the appearances of books that have 48 to 40 pages. And when a book has 48 to 40 pages, guess what, everybody? You have to pay another $1. $4.99 books are popping up in both DC and Marvel all throughout the month of September. I'm going to talk about certain books, but books like Multiversity, Death of Wolverine, there's a bunch of annuals that are going to be coming out from Marvel. I didn't really look too deep into the DC ones because I just actually noticed this right before I actually started the recording. That first of all, this is DC Comics' big month. This is where they're going to be doing the 3D covers again. So all the books that you normally pay $2.99 for, you're going to be paying $3.99 for. And not to mention also the weekly series is still going on. The digital first books is still going on. Plus there's cancellation, which really has me upset, and we'll get to that. Plus there's also the Vertigo books, which Mike and I get. Not to mention Original Sin, I believe, will be still pushing forward. And there's also set up for the next event. No, actually there's not. It's just books that are connected. But there is also a push for Axis, the prologue books for Axis, the setup, so to speak. It's called the March to Axis. So there's a lot going on. And also another thing to note is Superior Spider-Man is $5. Marvel actually is the one that's throwing out a lot more of the $4.99 price tag than the DC side. DC, the only $4.99 book that I noticed that's coming out that's something extra is actually Multiversity. Other than that, most of the other books are, like I said, $3.99, $2.99, $2.99 for the weekly series, and $3.99 if you want the 3D covers. You can save $1 and not get the 3D covers, but to be honest with you guys, this year I'm definitely going to be going for all the 3D covers. It doesn't matter. It's just an extra $1. It's September. It's supposed to be, that celebratory month. So hopefully I'll be getting my hands on all the 3D covers, but you never know. One or two might sell out. What can you do at that point? But anyway, so let's go through some solicits. Let's start with DC because DC came out first. And obviously there's a bunch of one-shots. I'm not going to cover all of them. But the big books for this month are definitely, I'm interested in seeing Multiversity. I mean, we've been hearing a lot of talk about the multiple universes out there. The first book is going to be Earth 20. The full title, by the way, to Multiversity is The Multiversity, the Society of Superheroes Conquers of the Counter World. That's a long title. I thought Multiversity was enough, but I guess they had to add all that. Future's End is still going to be pushing forward, as well as Batman Eternal. I do like the cover for Batman Eternal 22, if that is the actual cover, because when it comes to the weekly books, they only show you one cover and it has spoiler on it, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully I'll probably still be getting the monthly series up until this point, unless things get really bad. Another thing is Superman Unchained issue number 9. It's a resolicit because they've been pushing this book and pushing this book and pushing this book and pushing it. It's the final issue. Superman Unchained was supposed to be a 12... I was led to believe it was supposed to be a 12-issue miniseries. Superman Unchained issue number 9 is a not $4.99. Oh, yeah, it is. It is a $4.99 book. So there's your second $5 book already if you've been collecting Unchained. And this is going to conclude the entire Unchained series or miniseries. And this was supposed to be to promote the whole... the whole 75th anniversary for Superman. It's actually gone all the way through until the end of Batman 75th, which is kind of horrible. But anyway, another thing that's $5. If you enjoyed Superman issue number 1, there will be a director's cut that will be released by Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. It's going to have reprints, it's going to have sketches, it's going to have the script. For those of you that are interested in the book, there you go. If not, I think I skipped out on most of the director's cuts except for Superman Unchained number 1. And then we get all the one-shots. The ones that I really look forward to are obviously Booster Gold, especially because Dan Jurgens is doing the work on that. He's doing the writing for it. And he also did the cover. Justice League looks interesting. Justice League Dark looks like Mike's gonna like that. Teen Titans, Flash looks really good. It has Wally West and Barry and Wally switching on and off. Just to note, I will be getting every single one. Anyway, Constantine looks really interesting. Pandora looks very interesting as well. Futures Earth 2 looks interesting. Superman, Wonder Woman, I like the counter of the cover, like how one they're together and the other one they're fighting. So that's going to be interesting. Superman, the cover looks sweet. Supergirl, what else do we have? The Batman books look like any other normal Batman book, to be honest. They're just Batman books. They all look interesting. Even the Bat Family ones look interesting. Again, it's just you're going to have to wait and see, I guess. Green Lanterns, it doesn't look like they're going to really matter. Same thing with Sinestros. I will say, though, Red Lanterns, I do like the change from Guy Gardner being a Red Lantern to being the only Blue Lantern. That would be interesting to see if actually Guy Gardner becomes a Blue Lantern, like the last Blue Lantern, or, Saint Walker and him. That would be really interesting. And then also, you have Jon Stewart in Justice League Corps becoming a Indigo Tribe member. That would also be very interesting. Other than that, nothing really sticks out. As far as books, though, there is the Teen Titans Earth 1 first volume coming out. Sensational Comics featuring Wonder Woman, issue 2 will be coming out. And then there's a bunch of others. What upset me the most is Adventures of Superman issue number 17 is deemed the final issue. Words can't describe how disgusting that is. This book was my favorite book out of all the digital first books. It showed and depicted the real Superman, the true pre-New 52 Superman, and to be honest, it was a pleasure and a breath of fresh air to read each and every month because it gave you that little escape from the New 52, and I think DC is doing a huge disservice by canceling this series because I've heard nothing but positive feedback from everybody who's read this book. So I'm really, really pissed off to see this series go, but I'm hoping that it's leaving and then it comes back to another volume or under a different name. Let's see. Smallville Chaos is going to be continuing. Scribblenauts Unmasked, Crisis of Imagination, issue 9 will be the final issue there. Obviously, by now, 9 months later, the game is already... Nobody's even talking about the game anymore, so I'm really not too surprised to see the comic ending as fast as it is. Let's see. We got the kid books. We've still got Tiny Titans Return to the Treehouse, issue 4 of 6. We've got a lot of nice books, actually, that are coming out for the children that the kids are going to like. Let's see. From Vertigo, I don't think Michael's going to be happy about Coffin Hill. Hinterkind is continuing. And that's about it. Everything else that I collect is done. Now we get to the toys. Continuing the celebration for Batman 75th, Batman Animated Series Robin, the Joker, Man-Bat, and Poison Ivy all sold separately, $25 each. It says on sale December 2014, but I guess you can pre-order them starting September. I love the Robin figure, I'll tell you that. Another set that will be coming out is the Arkham Origin set, which has Batman, Deathstroke, Black Mask, and the Joker. They're making a mini statue for the Superman Wonder Woman Holiday Kiss, which is also on sale in December. I don't know why they solicit toys in September that are coming out for December. But anyway, that's it for DC. Now we're going to jump into Marvel. And get your pens ready, boys and girls, because here's where the $5 books are going to start coming out. Okay, so we have setting up for Axis. We have several books. We have Magneto 9 through 10, Loki Agent of Asgard, Captain America 24, and I think that's all that's going to be setting up for Axis. Yeah, and all those books are $3.99, I believe, except for Loki, who's $2.99, and yeah, no, everything else is $3.99. Now, be ready. Issues 1 through 4 of The Death of Wolverine. First issue is 48 pages for $5. And then issues 2 through 4 will still be 40 pages, but still at $5 each. So that's $25. No, sorry, I said $25 prematurely. That is $20 flat out that you will be spending for Wolverine alone in the month of September. Not counting anything that I've talked about already or will talk about. This is a $5 book. So we're seeing $5.99s pop up everywhere. You're going to see a lot more as we continue forward. Now, Superior Spider-Man 33, Edge of the Spideyverse. It's going to be 48 pages, so that's another $5. Also, Edge of the Spider-Verse issues 1, 2, and 3 are coming out. Issue number 1 features Spider-Man Noir, which I enjoyed Spider-Man Noir. Issue number 2 will be Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman, which looks really interesting. And then issue number 3 doesn't have any specific title. I don't know why, but it's about Dr. Aaron Ickman, Spider-Man. And it's a Spider-Man in armor. Looks interesting. But all the Edge of the Spider-Verse books are $3.99. Here we go again with $5 books, everybody. New Avengers issue 24, Time Runs Out, is beginning here. In 8 months, time runs out. And guess what? New Avengers 24, as well as Avengers 35, both 40 pages, considered extra size, both $5 each. So you're going to be spending $10 for Avengers right there. Then if you want to go further, there's an Avengers issue 34.1 spotlighting Hyperion for $5. Continuing on, Avengers World number 12. That's its own story arc still. I'm going to skip around a little bit now because I don't read most of these books. Spider-Man 2099 issue 3 is coming out. The first story arc will be ending for Amazing Spider-Man, which I just noticed really isn't doubling up, and I guess that's due to everything that's coming out from Spider-Man right now. The Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue 15, I love how it says still not canceled. It's because it's good. And we probably will be seeing the end to Amazing Spider-Man 1 point whatevers in Amazing Spider-Man 1.5 because it's the grand finale of Learning to Crawl. Ultimate Universe-wise, FF will have already been canceled by now. The Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 5 story is concluding its first arc. Only one Spider-Man shall survive. That looks interesting. Let's see what other books look interesting. Legendary Star-Lord looks interesting. Same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. Rocket Raccoon, I have to read issue 1 before I can determine. Fantastic Four issue number 10, The Fall of Reed Richards. That looks interesting. And for those of you that are ready for your $5 again, Fantastic Four annual number 1. Sue Richards goes to Latveria to confront Dr. Doom for the safety and welfare of her daughter Valeria. So there's another $5, everybody. I hope somebody out there is keeping keeping a tally. You could let everybody know in the comments below how many $5 books are coming out in September so they can prepare how much they're gonna need. Let's see. Captain Marvel's still going well for me. I think by this time I probably won't be reading Silver Surfer. It really depends on the issue that came out this week. Thor God of Thunder is a $5 book this month. Why? Because it's the God-sized 25th issue. So, extra pages, extra $1. So, Thor will also be a $5 book this month. Nova has a really cool cover, a really funny cover. I'm looking forward to hearing what Mike has to say about Thunderbolts issue 31, where it's Red Hulk versus the Punisher. Hulk number 6 is the Omega Hulk. It's still continuing from what happened in Original Sin. And for those of you keeping tallies of the $5 books, Hulk Annual number 1 is coming out. Someone close to the Hulk dies. And that's another $5 book. New Warriors is doubling up this month. Issue 9 and 10 are coming out. And another thing to note is George Romero's Empire of the Dead Act 2 is going to begin this month. I'm looking forward to that. Bunch of kid books, as always. Disney Kingdom Figment, issue number 4 is coming out of 5. And then we go into the X books. Deadpool biannual number 1, which is $5 again. Yeah, I won't be getting that. And then we have Hawkeye versus Deadpool issue 0 for another $5. And wait, it gets better. Marvel's answer to DC Comics 3D covers. Deadpool issue 34 gets a special 3D motion variant. And it's a wow, I can't talk. It's a 40-page issue, so it's a $5 book. So you'll be paying $5 for that if you want that book. And that's not to confirm if the 3D cover's $5. The 3D motion variant might be more. It's $5 because it's 40 pages. Let's see. All New X-Men looks really interesting this month because it has Miles Morales on it. So it's going to be interesting to see Miles Morales there. Looking. Really no other X book really catches my eyes except maybe I know Mike's going to be enjoying X Factor. I'm looking for Uncanny X-Men. Oh, Scott Summers has swiftly become one of the world's most wanted men. With one simple act, he destroyed the life he knew and must now remain constantly vigilant in case of attack. But is his greatest threat to his safety lurking within the dark recesses of his own mind? This could be interesting. I'll probably be reading this starting with the original Sin tie-in since I'm not reading anything else X-Men anymore except for the all-new X-Men. Nothing from Icon. There's a bunch of interesting books coming out. I want to see if there's any straight to OGN books, which I don't think there are, but there are a lot of nice Spider-Man books that come out this month. And Marvel never solicits toys with their stuff, so I won't be talking about toys. No, that's it. So guys, if you've been keeping a tally, let me know how many $5 books you count, because for me, I already count a ton of $5 books, and that's a lot of money, especially if you're going to be buying all the 3D covers from DC Comics. So between Marvel and DC, I'm predicting that anybody who buys nearly to almost nearly everything, you're going to be spending a pretty penny for your books unless you drop certain books. Me personally, looking at all those $5 books, I can promise you guys I'm probably only going to get 1 or 2 of those annuals that Marvel has. Multiversity, I'm going to try. Death of Wolverine, it depends on the weeks. If I don't get issue 1, obviously I'm not going to finish the Death of Wolverine. And I don't even think I'll be getting any of the $5. Like, Michael already said he's dropping Deadpool. I was thinking of getting back into Thor, but for $5 for a special 25th, I don't know. And I don't like how Marvel's like throwing out now an extra $1 for more pages. You know, we don't need more pages at this point, especially because collectors don't have a lot of money as is already. I think that keep it at $3.99. It's already hard enough to buy, you know, more than a couple of comic books because they're $3.99. I mean, DC has it going really well with the $2.99 price tag, $3.99 for their newer series, but the newer series have more pages. I would say to Marvel, get rid of your free digital download codes and bring the comics down to $2 because you're going to lose. A lot of people that I've been talking to are saying this, and I'm agreeing, that the comic industry is heading for another crash because they're just continually raising the price of their comic books, and all these variants that are coming out, you know, $60 and $50 variants. These are all the things that caused a humongous problem in the 90s with comic books, to my knowledge. I mean, I've done a little bit of history study with comics, and these were major factors to why comics kind of went bad during the 90s, and we are on the precipice of seeing this happen again. And if comics fall again, there's no promise that they're going to come back. I mean, Marvel has Disney money backing it up, so congratulations to Marvel. So they can live through a little bit of a crash. You know, they'll come back and they'll say, hey, we'll bring our books, we'll put our books down, we'll make them less money. But DC doesn't have such a strong backing from what I understand. So if DC goes under again, we're not going to be seeing DC Comics again unless somebody else buys them out. And I don't want to see that happen. I think DC Comics is doing a great job with their $2.99 books. They're really not trying to push $3.99. They're holding off on a lot of books for $3.99. Their only big month is September, so you can't begrudge DC 1 month of $3.99, you know, 3D lenticular cover books. But Marvel just continues to add and add and add and want more money. I don't care, more pages, free digital download codes. Take away the more pages. Take away your free digital download codes. Give me a $2.99 or a $2.50 book, or not $2.50, or a $3.50 book instead of a $3.99 book, and let's be happy with that, Marvel. Because I'm being honest, you guys are getting. I mean, I made fun of how greedy you guys are, but it's getting dangerous really dangerous how greedy you guys are getting lately with now asking $5 for 40 to 48 page books and specials and annuals and extra sized issues. I mean, between Avengers, Thor, Deadpool issue 34, all the annuals, the Death of Wolverine, Superior Spider-Man, and whatever else I'm not remembering off the top of my head right now, you guys are asking for way too much money. And I understand DC Comics, all their books are $3.99 except for the weekly ones in the month of September, but that's just the month of September. And I still feel if you take the amount of money for all the DC books and you compare it to all the amount of money that you would get from all the Marvel books, DC would be a solid couple of hundred below Marvel, not counting trade paperbacks. I'm talking about just single issues. I would predict it. I don't know if anybody's willing to do the numbers on that. Feel free to leave me the numbers in the comments below too. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, I personally think DC isn't asking as much as Marvel is, and I don't like the whole $5 for a comic. I remember when I started collecting, comic books were only $5 when it was an annual, and annuals only came out every once in a great while. Most of the time, the books were either $2 or $2.50. I mean, we went from $2.50 to $3.99. We didn't even get a $3 book. We got $3.90. We got $2.99 for a little while. It disappeared, and then DC brought $2.99 back. And we didn't even get to $3.50. No, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We didn't get to $3.50. We just went straight to $3.99. I'm sorry, my bad. I meant we didn't go to $3.50. So I don't know what's going on with the comic industry with the money, but comics cannot cost that much to print or make. This is just the companies looking to make extra money, and at this point, especially in Marvel's case, I don't care how good your movies are, I don't care how good your products are, I'm not going to waste $5 on your books, because I do buy from other companies, from other series, whether it be from DC, IDW, Image, Valiant, Zenescope, Top Cow, Archie, Boom, whatever other companies I buy from, Aspen. These are books that I'm still buying from also. So Marvel needs to take into consideration that there are other companies out there, and it's unfair to the readers to have to debate which books to get because their books are $5 each. Maybe this is a little rant. I apologize for that. But I don't like seeing stuff like this go on, especially because we just, got used to the whole $3.99. Now we're going to $5. Too much, too fast. And to be honest, this is what's going to turn a lot of new readers off to comic books. $5 for one book, even if it has a lot of pages, once a month, too much in my opinion. Way too much. And like I said, it's going to turn off a lot of new readers. And a lot of the older readers like myself are going to have to pick and choose which books we want. And you know what? It's going to kill the industry, I feel. Little bits at a time. Now, this might only be a 1 month thing, and I pray it is. The only reason why I'm ranting and talking about this so much is if it's not a 1 month thing. That's when it's going to be up to me and you guys out there, everybody who buys comics, everybody who reviews comics, to take a stand and say something against this, or else we are going to be paying $5 per book or not reading at all anymore. And I know nobody who enjoys comic books, who enjoys reading them, who enjoys reviewing them, who enjoys talking about them, wants that to happen. So, guys, if this continues, we all need to take a stand, whether it be against Marvel, against DC, against the industry in general. Books should not be anywhere past $3.99 unless they are an annual, and they should not be, over released throughout an entire month. I understand. I believe September has 5 Wednesdays in it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check my my calendar. And no, September only has 4 Wednesdays in it, which is even worse because that means we're going to be getting triple and double of certain books because there's going to be so many. So, guys, like I said, it's up to you guys to take that stand and say, look, I'm not paying $5 for a book. You need to bring the price down. I don't even know anyone. I mean, I'm sure a few of you are going to comment after I say this, but I don't even know anyone who uses the free digital download codes anymore. I did up until they erased every single book I had because there was a site bug or something happened to the website, to the Marvel website, and it erased every single free digital download code that people had. So after losing about, I would say, a good 70, 80 books that I had downloaded or I had digitally for free, I stopped redeeming these dumb codes. And some of them started to not even work. I started putting the code in, it's like, this is an incorrect code, try again. And I was doing it perfectly. So you can't tell me it's an incorrect code if that's what's on the book. So with all the problems that started popping up with the digital codes, I stopped. I'm sure other people have stopped. I don't even know anyone who uses the free digital download codes unless they use them to give away as giveaways, or, to give to people who don't buy certain books. That's what the free digital code is being used for, Marvel. People are basically giving away your books to their friends who don't want to pay the money. So if that's what you want, if that's the message you want to throw out with your free digital codes, be my guest. But personally, I don't use them. I just leave them alone. They expire after, I believe, a half a year anyway. So who cares? Whatever. I say get rid of it. Take off 50 cents and charge $3.50 for your books instead of $4. But that's just me. And once again, it can't just be one person. One person can start it, but it's everybody. We all, as a community, as a group of concerned fans and readers and reviewers, need to be the ones to take that stand against $5 books. But like I said, we need to do it together. And hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully it's just a 1 month thing. But I don't know. When it comes to Marvel lately, every chance they get, I see $5 extras, double ups, and whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's it. I'm stopping my rant here. So now all that's left is to do the rundown. So give me a moment to pull up the Midtown Comics thing, and we will do said rundown. All right, and here we are with this week's recap. And Brant's here. He made it after all.
I ran all the way for the rundown.
Don't think too hardly now. We got Brant. Unfortunately, there's still no Zone 4 segment. Brant, shame on you.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. I blame everything on Cindy.
It's Cindy, yeah, it's her fault.
Alright, I figured it was. I knew it. Deep down.
Yeah. She messaged me and said, don't do it. He doesn't need it this week, so I didn't do it.
I'm going to get her later for that. Anyway, this is going to be a short podcast week anyway because I lost my special. I'm very upset about that still.
Curse you, YouTube! Sorry.
What Brant said. Exactly. Word for word, tone for tone. All right, so Brant, do you want to start us off this week with the rundown?
Indeed, I do. Yeah.
Oh, before I say that, these are books that are coming out June 25th, 2014.
All right, so we will start with Dark Horse as we usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what am I looking forward to from Dark Horse? Captain Midnight,
Yep.
number 12, is coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. And Serenity Leaves on the Wind, number 6, that is the final issue of that mini-series. Really been enjoying that. Huh? Yeah.
I said, oh, wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was already there either because I'm a couple issues behind. But yeah, it's been a fantastic series, so I'm really looking forward to that and seeing how it all wraps up. And Star Wars, Star Wars, Rebel Heist, number 3. And nice Chewie cover there. So
I like both of them. I like cover A and B.
Yeah, both very nice covers. I'm looking forward to his story. So, and those are the main things I am looking forward to.
I'm surprised at you, Brant. You missed one of your favorite series.
Did I?
Dream Thief, Escape Room.
Don't you dare.
No, I'm not even bothering. I just threw it out there for a joke. Me, I would say Ghost, number 5, even though I didn't read the issue before it. Or did Mike read number... I don't know. Maybe Ghost number 5. I have to remember what I read last. Halo Escalation number 7. Star Wars Legacy because it's a new story arc finally. I would like to make mention that there is a signed Star Wars Rebel Heist issue number 1 by Matt Kint. It's $25. $30 is the asking price. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Mike has to say about Tomb Raiders. Other than that, I'm good.
Okay. And also coming out are Aaron Warner's Pariah, Volume 2, Number 5. We have Conan, or Conan, however you pronounce it, The Avenger. I know different people pronounce it differently. Number 3. You already mentioned that book, Dream Thief Escape, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
We have new Emily and the Strangers, Breaking the Record, number 1. Goon, One for the Road, One Shot. King Conan the Conqueror, number 5. Mass Effect Foundation, number 12. And this is a big week for Dark Horse.
I know. Well, I think it's because it's the last week of the month.
Right. Okay, we also have the Massive, number 24. Mind, MGMT, or Management, number 23. And Vandroid, number 5. And a bunch of trades.
As always.
Of course.
Alright, so that means we're going now into DC Comics. I'm looking forward to the now announced canceled, but I'm very pissed off about it, Adventures of Superman issue number 14. Batman Beyond Universe issue 11 with the Justice Lords. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward more to this ending than the actual book, but Batman issue number 32, I'm looking forward to Zero Year getting its Pendulum issue out, and hopefully we'll get it done and over with soon. Flash issue 32. I'm going to skip a few for you. Justice League 31. I didn't even realize the Mike Allred variant. Larfleeze number 12, I'm looking forward to it because it's the last freaking issue. And Sinestro number 3 and what do you call it? Superman number 32 with John Romita Jr.'s art, because I got to see how horrible or how good it's going to be.
From what I saw, it's not as bad as we thought, so I'm curious to see your reaction. All right, for me, man, I'll agree with you on Batman. Everything you said, pretty much. Flash as well. Let's see, those are just the covers. Injustice: Gods Among Us Year 2, number 6, which that is also ending in September, by the way. Justice League number 31. Man, I think, yes, Sinestro, just some of the stuff you mentioned, basically. So, that's it.
I'm upset because I didn't know that the Superman issue number 32 regular cover was the one that they're showing here. I thought it was the variant. They had it advertised as the variant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got the bombshell version because I didn't like the... Oh, well. What can you do?
Yeah. You can always go back and buy another copy.
Never.
Alright, so what else we got?
What else we... I know that's what I'm doing. I'm going back up, so I'm...
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Time. Okay, we also...
You missed Action Comics. Oh, no, that's the second.
Nope, that's the second
Right.
printing.
Sorry.
We also have All-Star Western 32, Aquaman 32, Batman 66 number 12, Batman Eternal number 12. Yeah, that's what I say. Catwoman 32. How the heck did this series not get canceled yet? Let's see. We have a director's cut version of Harley Quinn issue number 0. We have Harley Quinn issue number 7. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe number 4.
7's a C, cover C.
Oh, oopsie.
Yeah. That's
Pardonnez-moi. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe number 14. Injustice: Gods Among Us Year 2 issue number 6. Justice League Dark 32. New 52 Futures and number 8. Red Lantern, that's what I say. Secret Origins number 3. Second printing. Still upset about that cover now. And that's it.
I'm telling you, these weekly series started off so strong for us.
I know. It's almost disheartening.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't weekly.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, so on to Dynamite. Let's see, what am I looking forward to? Mark Waid's Green Hornet number 13.
Heck yeah.
yeah, Turok Dinosaur Hunter number 5. And that's it for me.
Just throw Solar Man of the Atom number 3 in for me and take off Turok and we're good.
Okay. Is that series good?
Yeah, Micah and I've been enjoying looking at it. It's about his daughter.
Okay. Cool.
So it's like a new Solar. I think she's gonna become Solar Woman at some point.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. So we also have Deja of Mars number 2. We have Flash Gordon number 3. Let's see.
Gotta sift through all those.
Yeah. That's it, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
Dynamite's a slow week for them.
Mhm.
All right, so we're in IDW. Seventh Sword, issue number 3. I'm looking forward to that. The Cartoon Network Super Secret Crisis War is starting this week.
Yes.
Issue number 1. I'm looking forward to that. Godzilla, Rulers of Earth, number 13. Looking forward to that. Transformers, More Than Meets the Eyes, issue number 30. And the one thing I'm looking forward to reading digitally is Transformers Spotlight Drift. It says cover D, Director's Cut. I'm guessing this is the Director's Cut of the Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers Windblade number 3. And that's it for me. How about you, Brant?
All right. 24, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll agree with you on Cartoon Network and the both Transformers books, or all 3 rather. And that will be it for me.
All right. Also coming out is Illegitimates, number 6. Mars Attacks, Firstborn, number 2. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, issue number 20. Oh, I missed this. I'm sorry. Also, I'm looking forward to New Ghostbusters, issue number 17.
Cool.
It was squashed in there.
Are you getting the regular cover or the Angry Birds cover?
Regular cover.
Okay.
There's also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, New Animated Adventures, number 12. That's for the TV show. I think that's... And X-Files, season 10, issue number 13.
Yep.
Which takes us into Image now, Brant.
Image. Did you read Cal number 1 by chance?
No.
I have not. Okay. So
I have not either.
All right. So for me,
Or did Michael? Maybe Michael did, and I don't remember.
Okay. Definitely Invincible 112. Really looking
Yes.
forward to that. Revival number 21. Once I get caught up. Which I'd really love to do because Mike Norton and Tim Seeley are going to be at Derby City next week. But those are the main 2 for me from Image this time.
Throw Saga in for me, and that's me.
All right. So we also have the aforementioned Cowl.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Chew, 42.
Okay. So Cowl number 2, Deadly Class number 6, Dream Police number 3. The Fuse, I think is it just Fuse? Yeah, it's just Fuse number 5. Mercenary C number 5.
That's a whistling C.
I know. Sorry. Peter Panzerfaust. Now I'm like being very careful how I speak. Peter Panzerfaust, especially with all these.
You missed Outcast by the way.
Oh yeah, that's a brand new series. Outcast by Kirkman and Azacita. Man, you're just killing me here. Number 1. We had Sex, number 14. Oh Lord, didn't know we were numbering that now. But anyway, Skull Kickers, number 28. What a follow-up! I'm telling you. Sovereign, number 4. Man, this keeps getting better and better. Stray Bullets, The Killers, number 4. What are you doing to me? Trees, number 2. I don't even want to go there. This may even be worse. Undertow, number 5.
Image is becoming a very sexually titled.
Wow. Okay.
Oh God, I need a minute for that. Wow, Brett, you made every title that I read dirty.
I didn't do it.
Sex did it, right?
It did. It usually does.
Hey, we're in Marvel now, thank God. We have Amazing Spider-Man 3. I'm looking forward to it. Did you notice that Spider-Man's not twice a month anymore?
You know, I hadn't noticed that, but you're right.
It is. They put it back to once a month. I think that's because they're doing the Superior Spider-Man thing, probably.
Probably, yeah.
It's sold out on the site we're on, but there is Deadpool issue 27 signed by Fabian, whatever his last name is.
I see as a
Oh, thank you.
something like that. Okay.
Deadpool versus Carnage number 4. I'm looking forward to it ending.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four number 6. I'm looking forward to that. Guardians of the Galaxy 16. Ultimate Spider-Man 27. I'm looking forward to. Oh wait, no, that's the kids. Sorry, my bad. Whoopsie. New Avengers. New Warriors number 6. Original Sin 3.1. This is Spider-Man Spectacular number 1. I think the kids would love that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got. And Wolverine number 9.
Okay. Agreed with Amazing Spider-Man number 3, obviously. Avengers Undercover number 6, even though it's getting canceled. I'm enjoying it. I'll agree with you on Deadpool versus Carnage and Fantastic Four and Guardians of the Galaxy. Original Sin 3.1, that's the Hulk Iron Man thing, by the way. People
Right.
out there. Original Sins number 2.
Wow.
And I'm torn about Savage Hulk. I don't know.
I was going to get it for the Alex Ross cover, but then I found out that the Alex Ross cover was the $75 cover, and I'm like, yeah, goodbye.
Right. But it looks interesting. I don't know. Maybe. And that's it for me.
All right, so going back to the top. All new Dupe number 3. All new Ghost Rider number 4. All new Ultimates number 4. A lot of all new things. There's a Kelly Sue DeConnick signed Captain Marvel number 1. There's Dexter Down Under number 5.
I believe that's the final issue, too.
I have no clue.
I think so.
Miss Marvel number 5. New Avengers number 20. New Avengers Annual number 1. Uncanny Avengers 21. From Icon, we have United States of Murder Inc. number 1. X-Force number 6.
Cool. So that takes us into the indies, or the other companies, whatever. Let's see. I'll skip over that one for you.
Hopefully it's one I know you're skipping over.
Yeah, it is. Trust me. And I'm really having to look this time, so bear with me as I scroll down and talk like I'm talking about something that's not really important at all, but I'm acting like it is. Shadow Man End Times number 3, you have to go all the way to the bottom. And Exo Man of War number 26, both of those nice valiant titles. I'm going to steal this one. Grim Fairy Tales presents Dark One, Age of Darkness. Oh, that's a D. Never mind.
That's a D. We already reviewed that from last month.
I know. I can't even steal one. All right, I'll steal this one then. Godstorm, Hercules.
Oh, you. You.
I had to take one of them. I left you one though.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Actually, I left several. Man, there's not much for me this time.
For me, I have Mega Man 38. I'm guessing that's the one you skipped over for me.
Yeah, kind of wish I had now.
I'm still curious about God is Dead. I really would like to look into that series at some point.
The title turns me off. I haven't read it. The title turns me off. That's all.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I thought you might have known something. No. But I am also looking forward to Exo Man of War 26. Let's see, what else do we have? Now we're in... Yes, I'm looking forward to Godstorm, issue number 3. I know Mike looks forward to Hellsing number 3. I still have to catch up with Hellsing.
I like the first issue of it.
I read the first. I have to read the second. Grim Fairy Tales, Wonderland Clash of Queens, issue 5. This was an awesome series. Mike actually is getting the gatefold cover for the extra $1.
Nice. I've read the first 3. Really enjoy those.
It's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
And Grim Fairy Tales presents Wonderland 24. I think this is a new story arc, or I'm not too sure. No, I don't think so. I think it's still continuing. Mike reads Wonderland.
Okay.
But Wonderland's awesome. This is supposed to be Wonderland versus oh shoot, it left me. Wonderland versus someplace. Was it Neverland?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember either.
It just skipped my mind completely, and now I feel stupid. Either way, there's going to be a Wonderland versus soon, so I'm looking forward to that. And that's really it. And we're not running down every single indie book, that's for sure.
No, but I did miss one. There's a book called Mighty Titan #1 that I kind of want to check out. They did a Kickstarter for like the second or third issue that did really well, so it kind of made me curious about it. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so that's it for the rundown this week. Really quick, some news that I'm going to be mentioning tonight, actually, on the weekly comic book haul is for the summer, Mike and I were talking for a while, and we came up with a perfect idea for a summer event for this channel. We are going to be doing a Street Fighter summer special event. We're going to be reviewing comics. On Brooklyn Boys, we're going to be playing games that are Street Fighter, obviously. We're going to have reviews for toys and all the other stuff. Anything we can get our hands on for Street Fighter, we're going to be doing little things here and there all throughout the summer, from the first week of July all the way until the last week of August. There will be something Street Fighter each and every week. Mostly it's going to be from Michael, because Michael could do the extra videos. I will be throwing some of the stuff I have and I've been doing in from time to time. But for the most part, we're going to try to share it 50-50 with the reviews and stuff. So we'll see. And I will be sharing all of this also on the comicfrontline.com. It won't be on the Comic Frontline YouTube channel, but you will be able to find it. Maybe there'll be a category. I'm hoping to get my channel as a tab at some point. If I do that, then you can just buy by tab, and then there you go. It'll link you to the special event, which I'll link specifically in my tab.
Awesome. You know what we didn't mention, by the way?
What?
What were you talking about before we recorded?
Street Fighter?
$5 books.
Oh, thank you. And yes, right before I start, we recorded this segment. Me and Brant actually sat down and did the math for every single $5 book. This is including Sandman Overture from Vertigo. And I think there was another $5 book we put in there also that was from somewhere. I'm trying to remember.
Well, there was Miracle
Man,
Man, which isn't really...
That's it. Yeah. That was it.
This is for September, by the way.
Yeah. These are all the $5 books. If you were going to get every single book that I had listed or mentioned before, plus Miracle Man and Sandman Overture, you will be spending a whopping $95, $100 possibly, depending on if you get charged tax or if you have to have shipping, for just those books alone. And that's only about 19 books, you said, Brant?
Yep.
19 books out of about... what?
Roughly, yeah, I mean, if you think of all the books that both Marvel and DC publish, you're looking at least around, what did we say, like 140 books a month?
I thought you said 107. Yeah, about
160, 100, something like that.
Yeah.
It's in that range.
Yeah, between 40 and 60, but that's a lot of money for just 19 of those books.
Yep.
That's crazy. So, guys, be very cautious what you buy in September. If you know you're not going to like it, or if you're questioning if you're going to like it, either find a way to check out a preview first, or if you go to a comic shop, you lucky dogs you could check the books out in your local comic shop. Don't spend the $5. Don't give Marvel the go-ahead, like I was saying. And Brant actually you agreed with me at the end of this. Don't give Marvel a reason to start making $5 books.
Yeah, because after we realized how many Marvel was putting out, we kind of got the impression that maybe they're testing the market for this. I mean, yes, they're adding more pages, but it's like some of them were only 40 pages, which is only 8 additional pages, and I guarantee you at least half of those are ads.
Uh-huh. And then not only that, those were the 48. There's only 2 48. The rest were all 40, and it was the same price still.
Yeah, so... I don't know. It feels like they're testing the market, and that makes me nervous.
Very, because I'm not paying $5 for books now. Now that's asking too much. And I was mentioning this during my rant that there was a huge what was the word I used? There was a disaster in the 90s. You know, comics were in a lot of trouble because they really pushed too far and people lost interest. It was the variant covers, which guess what we're going through right now? Variant cover palooza. Comics were going too high and people stopped buying. They're heading for another downfall.
Yeah, crash or whatever.
Crash. That was it. That was the word. Thank you. Another crash. I don't know. I think, you know, like I said, Marvel has Disney money to back them up. DC was on the precipice of bankruptcy.
No, Marvel was.
I thought it was DC, but wasn't DC before the New 52?
I don't know if they got that bad. You got to remember they have Time Warner behind them too. So.
Yeah, but I don't think Time Warner is as
They're not as involved. No, you're right.
Yeah.
They kind of Time Warner has a history of just buying popular kind of properties and letting them be run.
Yeah, without watching them.
Yeah. But yeah, Marvel was in bankruptcy like about 15 years ago. So.
Yeah. They're going to put themselves right back in it if they keep throwing $5 books out there, because I'm not going to pay $5 for any book.
I can't think of many people that would, but just in case you are fans of all these books that are going to be $5, you better start saving now. That's all.
Yeah, because $100 and you're not even, you know, touching any of the one-shots that are coming out of DC, any of the other books that are coming out of Marvel, plus the indies, yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah. If you're buying those, all of those.
Mm-hmm. And it's bad because most of those $5 books are tied into certain events, like Time Runs Out and Access and, you know, Spider-Verse, stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Well, you see, when it comes to me, I think I'm getting about 4 or 5 of the thing. I'm probably not getting any annuals except maybe the Fantastic Four one. I might get the Deadpool one if the 3D covers the $5 one and it's not the like, you know, when they overcharge for variants like that, like $60, $70. But other than that, I'm probably not getting anything else. Like the Hulk one is ridiculous. I'll probably skip the Avenger ones. Because it's hard, you know, and I'm reading Avengers as is, and I'm probably going to drop Thor also. I was going to start reading Thor with the whole sister thing, but I can't afford $5 for you know, every time a book hits 25, we're going to get a $5 book. That's ridiculous.
I agree. You know.
Oh, and another announcement before we end out this episode. It's official as of today, as of the day we are shooting this, recording this podcast. Michael, myself, and Cindy were approved for New York Comic Con, so we will be at New York Comic Con this coming October. I will be there on Saturday and Sunday. Try for Friday, but with work, I highly doubt that. Michael and Cindy and Ellie are tentative for Friday. None of us are going to be there on Thursday because basically that's setup day anyway, so I don't think there's really much that we can do on a Thursday anyway. And we're not doing any of the week ahead of time thing like we were saying before. Right. That's just extra. And hopefully Brant will be there.
We shall see.
Everybody write Brant. It's Brant@comicrelated.com. He accepts personal checks.
I was about to say, if they want to pay my way, then yeah.
I was just going to say, exactly. He accepts personal checks at PayPal. Try for the PayPal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's it for this episode, I guess. Thanks, Brent, for showing up. That you made it. I'm glad you made it. I was worried at the beginning of the episode when I started you. I'm like, I'm alone. Brent's not coming. There's no Zone 4 this week. It's good for those podcasts where you just hear my voice, and then Mike and Cindy sat in for the special New York Comic Con talk, and that was it. So I'm glad you showed up. I was drowning in the water of sex and undertow.
You had to go back there, didn't you?
I had to.
Trees. Anyway.
Of all the names, you think of trees.
It was, you know, you said S and, I don't know, it went down to T, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. Before we get slap happy. Too late.
I'll say.
There's only one thing left to do, everybody, and that's to cue the outro.
Join us next time for another episode of
It's a bird! It's a plane!
It's a Podcast.
Up in the sky, look! Up in the sky, look!
This has been a Ventura production.